Boom. I think I got it this time, guys. I apologize. I don't know exactly what happened. Why I did that, why you guys couldn't hear me or anything, but we are back. So I appreciate you guys. I know we're starting a little bit late here today. I appreciate your patience as well. Yesterday I started, I could kind of tell when I start getting like a migraine. Like I start getting like this little like pressure just like behind my eyes. And I try to do everything I could to, prevent it. And I think it's just kind of a multitude of things. Like the heat out here has been crazy. I was out there, messing with my son, playing around and everything, and and so I think part of the heat. And then I've been trying to go to the optometrist as well. So trying to go to the optometrist, and my prescription on my glasses is old as shit, but the optometrist isn't open, so it's like a huge thing to go, to go get my eyes done and stuff. And so thank you again, coronavirus. But hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys are all doing well. I did have a great week and everything. I was honestly this close to saying like, hey, I'm not gonna do the STOCKcast, but wasn't gonna let you guys down, dude. So yeah, I wasn't gonna leave you guys hanging. So I apologize. I'm running a little bit late though. Um, so I don't really have any like announcements or stuff. Usually I take this time to make announcements. But if you guys are watching for the first time, make sure you leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. So we do this every Sunday. I call it the STOCKcast. We just get ready for the trading week. Usually I go over a topic of interest. Today I'm going to talk about journaling. So we're going to go over journaling real quick. Then we'll go into technical analysis and Q&A, getting into next week. Okay. So before we get started though, how's everyone doing? Oh man, and I did the stupid thing where it's like high latency and stuff too. Oh, dude, I'm out of it. Like I'm not. I'm probably gonna go take like an ice shower or ice bath here after this. Um, Got to get myself going, dude. I feel like crap. Uh, all right, guys. So let's talk about journaling a little bit here, guys. Um, this is something that a lot of new traders kind of blow off, and it's a lot of added effort into trading. So usually you think, especially like especially like when you're watching these videos on YouTube, people making big money, and some of the guru people never really talk about this or anything like that. So great 10 days of vacation ending tomorrow. Oh man, dude, I need some vacation time myself. I have a trip planned to Puerto Vallarta in September, but maybe I need to plan a little small weekend or something before then. But I don't even know if that's gonna happen because of the coronavirus stuff. I'm hearing they're locking down Mexico again, so um, who knows? But let's talk about journaling, guys. So, like I said, I don't think too many people actually talk about this, and this is one of the most useful tools that you could have, and that you don't really see that people like. You don't see behind the big P&Ls and things like that where they say like the where journaling helps. They just say, I have this pattern. It's super simple and easy. You just follow it every day and you make money, right? But no one takes the time to go over journaling. So journaling is really important because that's how it's data tracking. So I know it sounds stupid where it's like journaling or keeping a diary, or a day trade diary, or whatever it is. And yeah, it sounds dumb. I understand. I get it. But it's you collecting data on yourself and the way that you trade. So you got to look at it from that perspective. Because if you don't have data and then you don't know the problem. You don't know the problem and where your opportunities are in your trading, and where you actually perform well in your trading. So you can double down on what you're really good on, and then work on what your opportunities are. There's lots of different ways to journal. There's people that just use an Excel sheet. I used to do that on just keeping an Excel sheet that I was given, and then I've also used TraderView. The thing with TraderView is that with options, it doesn't like to do things with options, especially if you without the paid version. So you have to have the paid version for TraderView in order to do that. But TraderView is really nice. I think TraderView is kind of hard to use. I think and I'll bring up mine. Mine is really, I haven't been in my TraderView in a long time, guys, since I actually traded small caps and stuff. But I could show you the way that TraderView actually looks. All right, so when you log into TraderView, it's going to look like this. Let me switch here. Oh. There we go. So let me take off the tint on my screen. It's gonna hurt my eyes, but gonna make do for you guys, so you guys don't have a fucking stupid ass thing. All right, so now it looks a lot better. It's not all tinted, right? So whoa, that's bright. All right, so right as soon as you log into TraderView, this is the way it's going to look. So this is going to say recent performance. It also has a little bit of a community. You could see who traded like what tickers and stuff. If you guys traded the same ticker, like I had Staff, Givo, and all these from the past open trades. And then here you have journal trades, reports, new trade, import trades, and settings. So, and this is where I'm saying that it's kind of difficult to understand. So you go into dashboard here. I guess this is the dashboard. So the journal view, this lets you see day by day what your trades were. So this was like Friday, January 18th, the trades that I took, and you could see how it was just all over the place this day. Looked like I was having a hard day. It looks like that day. Wednesday, January 16th. So this one here, like this was a pretty easy day, it looks like. Same thing with January 15th. And it just kind of has the day on here. And then you could have like a chart for the day. And then you also have notes that you could put in and everything on here. And it's separated by day, right? Then you have actually trades view. This is just the actual trades. It just goes by date in there. And then probably where you'll live in this is going to be where it says reports view, and you get it to where it looks like this. So you have gross daily P&L last 30 trading days. So you have this, right? And then you have also gross cumulative P&L last trading days as a line graph, and then win percent, daily volume, and then right here you could do it from 60, 90 days, whatever, right? And then you could go, so right here in detail, this is where you'll see a lot of information, but it's hard to visualize it. So one thing that I hate about this is that it's hard to visualize where, so you have profit factor, right? You have average hold time, about 1 hour, and it's way different than the way I trade now. The guys in my room see me now. I'm in and out within minutes. Like this is when I was looking for all day fades on shorting small caps and stuff. Total gains and losses, average daily volume, average winning trade was $277. My average losing trade $134, and then total number of winning trades, max consecutive wins, max consecutive losses. And this is cool to actually see right now from where I am and my perspective in trading, because it's so much better. But this tells you like what day of the week you actually trade better, right? So on Thursday, I'm a little bit less profitable on Thursday at that time. My performance by day of the hour, which is like 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. I was that's when I made all my money. And by 10, if I kept on trading, I started losing money, right? And then usually these is where I would start taking covers. So that's where you would see that, there's a little bit more gains there. And then performance by duration, intraday, multi-day. I never swung back then. Hardly. Performance by a month of the year, intraday, duration, all this. But all this is nice. Like, it's nice to have that. And then this is a paid version, and then you could compare and all that. It's nice to have. But what I use now is called Trader Sync. And so one day, and I'm not pushing you guys to buy this or anything, but we are affiliates for it in the room. I promise I would never affiliate for a company that I don't actually believe in and I don't actually use their product. But I've been using this Trader Sync, and I'm behind for the month of July actually uploading my trades. I have a Python algorithm that actually uploads all my stuff as a CSV, and it saves it to my computer. So I just have to actually upload it onto Trader Sync, and I haven't done that. So this is the Trader Sync, and then this is where I'll go ahead and I'll start explaining what I'm talking about, journaling your trades and everything today. And before we get into anything, guys, this is not a dick measuring contest. This is not like how much money you made over how much money I made over what you did. Everything is fucking relative, right? Everything, if you put in a percentage, kind of category, it doesn't fucking matter. So if you made $100 and I made, whatever it was, a couple thousand, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. What we're talking about is actually journaling. Don't pay attention to the actual numbers on this, but I want to talk to you about actually journaling, right? So right here, my accumulative return, $92,132.72 since I started using the Trader Sync. That's up until like the end of June. I haven't, like I said, I just been so busy with new members and everything in the room. I haven't gotten a chance to do my ones from this week. My profit factor, average return, right? So my average return per trade is $677. My win percentage is this is what I'm actually working on the most. And what sucks though with me personally as a trader is that I take so few trades. Like if you guys go look at my Twitter or where I upload my P&L, I only maybe take 4 or 5, maybe max 6 trades on a day. So if I take one losing trade, it brings my percentage way down just by default because I don't take so many trades. So even though my win percentage, it looks low like that, it's actually good because of how many trades I actually take, if that makes sense. So so the cool thing about Trader Sync as well is it has algorithm built into it where I could tell you your potential performance. So it'll say like, you're better long than better long than short. And then it tells you what time of day, you'll do better. And then this is also like where I like this interface a lot better where it tells you everything that you're doing. So hourly, I perform better right at the bell, right at the open. And then you could see my profits start dropping off. And then in power hour, I'm not doing so good. So then my entry price, this is actually going to be contract entry price. I wish it would show like that underlying entry price or, the actual price of the tickers that I'm trading, but it doesn't. It's taking it off of like what my contract price actually are. So the volume, so this the volume of the volume that I've traded. So on those days, then so entry price and then weekly. So right now, Mondays, I'm not doing too hot. Thursdays are actually way better, which is way different than what we just saw on the Trader View, right? And then Mondays aren't really my time. So there's that. But the thing is that some of you guys may have gone into my YouTube and seen where I've talked about. I've actually made a video on this, and I call it developing your trader identity. So the thing is that people come in and I think and even like the rooms that you choose, right? So you say like, I want to trade like him because I want to make, this much money or whatever. But the thing is that like you really can't choose. So it kind of chooses you, like your style that you trade. So it matters on your personality, how risk averse you are, how patient you are, your risk tolerance. All those things factor into your character and the way that you're going to trade personally. So I'm going to trade a lot different than everyone else. And that's why I'm only teaching the way that I do things here in my room. And then you're able to apply them to your toolbox to be able to help you personally the way that you trade, right? But there's no perfect way. There's so many different ways to be profitable in the market. The thing that stays consistent is the risk management, right? So with that being said, what you want to look for, especially when you're a newer trader, is to come in here and look at the trends of when you're the most profitable, right? So like we're talking about, so we're talking, I don't think, in one of these here, it does tell me like, hold time, here it is. So here it says, so in the whole time, like how long you hold your trades and stuff like that. So if you're holding trades like on a, if you're holding trades that are profitable, see 0 to 5 minutes, I'm doing really well. So things that I hold a little bit longer, I'm actually negative on things that I hold a little bit longer. So, so right here, 10 to 30 minutes, actually then I'm a little bit bigger. So I need to find like a happy medium of where I'm holding, you know, my trades well enough in order for me to be profitable. And so I think that's you know, really important, because that defines whether you're going to be like a position trader, a scalper, or you're going to be like you know, maybe a swing trader, right? Or like a long-term trader, like you know, maybe using like an hourly or a half-hour chart instead of, you know, charts that like we use, right? And what you could still use, you know, my methodologies into your the way that you trade. But you don't want to go against what you're profitable. A lot of people want to trade like their favorite trader that they see on YouTube or Twitter, and they don't allow themselves to trade that is most profitable to them because of their character and their personality. So you want to come in here, and then what I did was I have a whiteboard. So I have a whiteboard, and then in that video, what I did is I drew a stick figure. I'm like, okay, this is my stick figure, and this is all the good qualities that, you know, in this that, you know, my trader that I have, my perfect trader that I have of myself would be like. So for me, it would be someone that comes in, hits it hard at the open, right, and then is trading you know, contracts that are $5 to $99 or a little bit higher, $9.99 or $20 to $49 right, the little bit more expensive ones. So that means that I know that those higher price tickers, like I like, right, Tesla, Amazon, are probably the ones that I need to stay with. None of this, you know, kind of smaller ones. Then I come in here and I look at the day of the week, and I'm like, okay, if I'm not doing well on Mondays, maybe I take Mondays off, or maybe I, you know, lower my size on Mondays. So if I'm losing on Monday, then I'm not losing as much as I usually do. I'm losing a little bit less. And then I could work on, you know, whatever in my life is happening on Mondays, right? We all have like a routine. You know, maybe you have to take your kids to school on that day, or, you know, you just, because of the weekend and stuff, you know what I mean? It's just a little bit harder for you. So, so far you would come and say like, okay, I'm best at the open, I'm best every day but Monday, and then I want to play, you know, these contract prices, and then this is the amount of contracts here that you actually trade, which is weird because I think this is in share size. I'm not exactly 100% sure because it takes it by contract, so I'm not exactly sure on this one. So those are what you want to hammer hard on for you being so they have a lot of different subscriptions, dude. They have like a premium one, but we have a discount code if you want it. So I gave up my commission. If you're a member in the room, I gave up my commission. You get 40% off if you're a member. If you're not a member, then you get 15% off. So 40% is my commission though on it. So if you're a member, I gave up because I wanted you guys to, I'd rather you guys be successful and have a nice journaling platform than me get paid. So I worked that out with them. That's exclusive to us. I don't think they offer that to anyone but us. So so there's that. So basically what I'm saying is I want you to come in and look at, okay, these are the great things that I do as a trader, right? I'm going to hammer down and do these double well and everything. Maybe take a little bit more size, keep on doing what I'm doing well. And then the things that you don't do so well and everything, right? So like this over here where it's, on Mondays and, the contract pricing where it's not too good. I'm going to go ahead and work on those, even though I'm not going to, hit them hard. It's not like they aren't relevant. I'm going to work on those as well. But not focus on those. How do I say this? So I want you to focus on them, but not to be like your main goal of what you're doing, right? So you want those to be better. So if people focus more on what they do well instead of what they didn't do well and what they suck on, they would do so much more better. Just focus on what you do well on and hammer down on that. And then you can work on your opportunities as you go along with it. And then overall, it's going to bring you up better. Does that make sense? So, besides that, that's the whole reasoning behind journaling. The whole thought process and stuff is just data tracking for you as in your personality and you as a trader. And then you could adjust to it day by day. You could adjust to it, by month. You could see, what's going on, and you could adjust to it. So this is pretty cool because you could even go in here and outline your trades. You could put like what mistakes were made on each trade. So then you'll have data like on your losses. So I have FOMO right here. I need to come in and do more. So like FOMO, maybe tilt or late on an entry, things like that. So you could put mistakes on it. You could even name your setups. So you come in here, you put your name of your setups, and then so what setups that you trade are actually more profitable to you as well. So this is something that you cannot do in TraderBrink. You could do tags Trader View. So you could do tags, but you can't do it like as extensively as this. And this is freaking awesome that you could come in and put these tags on everything that you do like this. So you could do the status. You could even have different portfolios. So like if you have a long-term one or, in a day trade one, things like that. And then what side of it was on. And then also you could just search for by ticker. So pretty cool. Right here is where you import trades. You just come in here. And then, like I said, I have a program that automatically saves my stuff from the broker through the webhook API, and then it just saves it to my computer, and then I have to manually come in here and actually put it in Trader Sync though. So you come in here, you pick the thing you're in, and then you put it in right away. Right here, these are your reports. Yeah, FOMO equals fear of missing out. Yeah, so like something was running on me, right? So or something was going really going crazy, and then I got into the trade, and then it just dropped on me because I got in towards the top or on a support or resistance break or whatever. So here's more data here that you could look at as far as numbers, accumulated return, account balance, return short. Right, return long. So obviously you guys know that I play a little bit more long side, especially nowadays. Largest gain, 119%. Accumulated losses, biggest profit, accumulated profits, average loser, return on investment, profit to loss ratio, all that stuff. That's a good question, Armando. Does it help at all for filing taxes? I imagine that this is tax deductible for you. You know what I mean? Like it's something that you use for your business. But that's something you'd have to talk to your CPA and stuff about. I haven't even thought about that, to be honest, if this is but I'm sure in some way, like, because like with the casino, you could count your losses towards a casino, right? So I'm sure you could come in here and use your losses, and write it off or something. You know what I mean? So I don't get into all that stuff, dude. I stress out about it, and it puts. That's why I pay someone to do it. You know what I mean? I pay someone to stress for me to do that stuff. Average average hold time, average daily volume, break evens. But there's everything that you could want to know about yourself as a trader is in here. So biggest loser is 10,000. Average return 677. So everything that you want. My average gain 2,416, which is about right, guys. The guys that know in my room know that I shoot for about a little over 2,000 a day. 4,000 is the profit goal. But if I'm over 2,000, then I'll stop trading. Then you got the journal part of it here, which is really nice. You could come in here and then type. So like, say you want to type notes on a trade, right? Oh yeah, so you could use that. You use your broker statements as well as your losses too, dude. That's a good point. So Tesla right here, I made $5 on this trade. But you could come in here, and so this is what it looks like on a per trade basis. So this is like where you took the trade, the price, the cost that it took to take the trade, and then you could come in here and put your target price, where your stop loss was. You put your tags, right? So your setup tag, your mistakes if you had any, and then you could even put screenshots of the chart and your executions. And then there is a point in here somewhere where you can notate. Somewhere, I don't remember exactly where, but you could notate and stuff too. Trade ideas. Oh, this, yeah, we could look at this real quick, Blaze. So this is just this is a pre-market gapper scanners. Oh my goodness, that sounds funny. But this is not going to show it right now because the market isn't open. But this is a delayed gap scanner that when I used to trade small caps, I used this. So just to know what was up. If you guys want it in the room, I could give it to you. But like I said, it's just a delayed free version of trade ideas for gappers. But if you guys want the thing right here, I could give it to you guys. So good eye, Blaze. Good eye. I do that. You would not imagine how many traders and like mentors and stuff leave stuff like this on their screen when they're showing stuff, and then you go and you start going down like a wormhole of what it actually is, and there's some pretty good breadcrumbs out there. So keep a sharp eye out when someone's sharing their computer stuff like that. How do you import your trades? Let me go back. So you go here, import trades, and then you just come in, download the CSV file right here on the import trades right here. All right. Then that is that. But that's pretty much, like a good tour of the way that this works. Oh, here's the journal part of it. So you could come in and so this was like June 18th, right? We're just looking at, and there is a way to write notes in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So I didn't scroll down far enough. So you write your notes on as to what happened right here as well, on the notes. And then right here, there's also a simulator. Like it also tells you like this is the AI part of it. So like if you keep on going the way that you're trading, the way that it should go. So this is the green line, and then the purple is like actually me. So this is really cool. So then it shows you all the where you should be focusing on as well and everything, and also on a monthly time difference. And then you also have management, right? So you could do it right there. But that's pretty much it. So the main thing I want you to get out of this, guys, is the importance of journaling. And I know it's very tedious and time intensive for a trader, but this is our job. This is part of our job every day. This is like, if you owned a restaurant, this is like mopping the floors, or mopping the floors or cleaning the toilets. It's something that has to be done, and it's crucial that you get it done. So it's not the funnest part of the of the game, but this is what keeps you profitable, and this is where you start. You could turn that edge from being on a drawdown on your trading, and then you just take off and skyrocket once you know what exactly to focus on. So if you don't know what the problem is, you're just swinging with your eyes closed. But if you know where the problem is, and you know where what to look for in your trading, then you have an edge into the way you should be trading. All right. What's tracing? Cool. Any questions on journaling or TraderSync before we move on to this week? What we're guys, I'm telling you, my brain is like fucked up, dude. Watch lists and stuff. Also, if you guys are newer to trading and you have like a one screen, multiple screens, whatever, make sure you guys download this this FLux. I'm not an affiliate for any of this. I'm just telling you guys what works, right? So this thing called FLux right here, and it changes the tint on your, it takes the blue light basically out of your screens. And this is a freaking saver right here, guys. If you guys, this is free also. You don't have to pay for this. But if you don't want to do this, there's also blue light glasses. Make sure you guys get some blue light glasses if you guys want to be doing this for a long time, because I am freaking feeling it being in front of these screens all day long. Yeah, exactly. So you could go and you could buy, you could actually so your broker gives you a CSV file, and then you go and you download, or excuse me, you go and you download it as a CSV file, and basically it just has columns of your trades. And then for me, for DAS, it kind of sucks because it erases every day at 10 p.m. So that's why I have my program that does it for me automatically. But then I actually have to go get the file from my computer and put it on TraderSync. But for you guys that are like, I know, what's that one? Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers is really good with the way they keep their stuff. You could get it at any point. But yeah, you just go to your brokerage, and they should have it. I believe with most brokers, you could also get a CSV file of your whole month. So like if you haven't used TraderSync, you could actually put your whole month in at one time. It'll take a little bit for it to actually upload, but so give it a minute when you do it. But you could definitely do that. Oh, I knocked over my microphone. But I like this. It even matches, my, if I come over here, it even matches my flow algo. So I'm like, cool. We're all matchy over here with, my flow algo looks almost exactly the same. Honestly, like if Flow Algo and TraderSync, I wish they would team up and just make one huge interface all together, and it would be freaking nice. So a Google Sheet, yeah. Cool. Let's go ahead and get into some tickers and stuff, guys. All right. So a little while ago, I was watching futures, and we started off here pretty strong. We started to gap up here. We got up here towards this resistance at 3,200, which we know is gonna be our next stop, especially like if we're looking at the SPY, right? So that means on the SPY it's 320, right? There it goes. So on the SPY, you can see the little push up. We're gonna get to towards 320. We have this resistance right here that I already have marked out, this 318.70 or so. That line has been there since probably on the way up the first time in January. So if I come back all the way, like way farther back, right, or when it actually came down. So, and then so we have 318, and the next stop is going to be right above 320. And I think we're gonna get there, guys. So we were talking about this in my room on Friday. So on Friday we were bear with me, guys. I know I'm like space case today. I apologize. So we're talking about it coming and testing 317 again, and we could honestly, I thought at the open we're gonna go to 317 and then kind of fade down and make a decision then at that point. But we just kind of cheaped along all day long here and closed, really strong. So I think we open maybe a little gap open and stuff tomorrow. So definitely very bullish, at least, the beginning part of this week into this week. All right. Yes, it is mobile too. Yes. Um, so there's that, and then so right now we're actually came down a little bit to the close line here on the futures. But I do believe that we're gonna just kind of range and push up towards this level, especially when we wake up in the morning. So, did anyone catch the big move at towards the endish of the day on Tesla on Friday? I need to get like an arm, a microphone boom arm. I'll probably put an order for it right now in a while. So the whole Tesla thing, guys, this was a really good trade actually on Friday. If you take a look, we were looking at this here at the first couple of days of the week. So every time it got up above 1420, just like when it was at 1,000. So you guys probably heard me talk about this already. So when it got over 1,000, right? So we had this big push over 1,000, and then we faded back, and then anytime we pushed over 1,000 again, it just kind of faded back down. And so when this happened, I actually started, getting I actually got worked. So I actually got worked on this where I was trying to get, the move where it would, come below 1,000 and for it to push back up again. And so you guys saw me get worked pretty bad on this chop, right? And then we had this big old move, and I think you guys have seen me, just nailing belling at the open, just do my dip and rips at the open on this way up. And then we got into this stupid chop here again, where this has just been going sideways. So, but I changed my strategy then at that point. What I did is you could see that anytime it got up here over 1,400, we had a huge like sell off. So we would have a push up, it would sell off, push up, sold really hard, push up, sell really hard. It didn't really do that here on Friday. So it actually held support really, really well from pre-market really, really well on Friday. So is there a way to filter by top tickers that you've been most profitable? Yes. So there's a way. So on the tickers that you are most profitable on, you can do that as well. So Kenny had a question. He said, is there a way to filter by top tickers that you've been most profitable on TraderSync? And there is. I'll have to get back to you on what the actual setting is, but I can't remember right now. But there is to show what tickers you are most. The thing is for options, it's not going to show you, dude, because it thinks that the strike price is an instrument, if that makes sense. So it's going to tell you like 1,400 calls for Tesla, for example, right? You're most profitable on those. So that's a whole totally different trade than if you were to trade like 1,000 calls Tesla. So that's what kind of sucks about that, is if you're trading options, it's going to do it by strike price because it thinks that those are different trades. There's not really a way to get around that unless you go through and actually tag them that way. You know what I mean? If you tag the set like it as a setup, and then you could separate it, if that makes sense. So here on Tesla, this actually, like I was saying, this actually held support really well on Friday. So it came straight up here to the this line, and I think I even got a little short. I don't remember 100%. Maybe I left it alone, but I remember it's like, okay, this is actually holding really well. Same place it did in pre-market. It didn't sell as hard anymore. And the thing is that on the SPY, right? So on the SPY, we actually dipped a little bit. So if we dipped this little dip right here, this should have pulled it down a little bit further, right? And it didn't. It actually still showed relative strength. And then I was actually so in my room, if you guys remember, on the OneNote, so the room OneNote, I already put this on the OneNote for the setup that we're looking at, and so you guys could see this. Especially, it's a lot nicer on this bigger time frame. This compression here to the side, and then we get this cross counter dots, and this thing just took off like it never looked back. There's no reason. No reason to even think about covering or anything. I was actually talking to Charlie in the room. Charlie's my bud. And he was like, hey, every time this dips down, it catches a bid. This bid has been there, for however long, and this thing is gonna rip. And I was not paying attention. Like, I was already done for the day trading. I did pretty well. And just as a joke, like, I was like, okay, I was tracking the 1500 calls, and they were at like 40 some cents down here when he told me. And then I got them at like 90 some cents when I got here up towards this area, 98 cents. So I got them like on the breakout, and I was just like, okay, cool. I'm going to hold these 1500s just for fun to see if they actually hit. And I was laughing, and then it actually got kind of serious. We got up here towards 1480, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just get out. And there was no reason to. It gave another flag right here, another ascending triangle as well, to keep on going into the close. And my bet to the guys in my room was that we're going to open gap up probably on Tesla, and we'll see if we blow a top tomorrow. So, but I think yeah, Tesla's definitely a bubble right now, bro. The thing is that this is a huge short squeeze. So this is finally where I think some of the people that were just hedging their positions and stuff on Tesla, I think this is where they're starting to actually shit themselves. So this 1500 is a huge number. So I think we see a huge blow off top maybe tomorrow, Tuesday, and then we get some reality set in. I think James was actually saying they have earnings next week or this week. I don't remember. But yeah, so especially after earnings, I think we get some pullback to some solid news type. But I do believe we open gap up on this tomorrow. Awesome question, Keith. So in general, my general rule of thumb is the very next strike price in the favor of the direction that I want the ticker to move. Yeah. So that's just analysis over the week of what happened, just for you guys' perspective on Tesla. And then, like I said, I think we open gap up on it tomorrow. So if not, I owe you guys a beer or something. I don't know, whenever I see you. The 22nd. So yeah, week after next. Yeah, and then in September is Battery Day. So is anyone interested in the other EV tickers, like NIO, SHLL, Nikola? A lot of people playing NIO here lately, guys. This thing has been pretty crazy. So yeah. So September 22nd, Corona. I owe you a Corona if it doesn't. Okay, dude. I like Corona. Gotta keep my. All right, cool. You have me thirsty for a michelada now, bro. So, Naya, yeah, Nikola, dude, I'm really, do you guys watch the Diesel Brothers? So I really like Diesel Dave, or whatever his name is, or Heavy D or whatever. I don't know his real name, bro. Like the Diesel Brother guy, that he's heavily invested in Nikola now, and I like him as a person and as a businessman. If you guys haven't watched their podcast, I really advocate for their podcast. It's really informational as far as like entrepreneurship and business and things like that. So go check that out, and it's really funny too, and it's free, like, obviously, but that's what has me on Nikola. I like Nikola, guys, but they we talked about this in the room. I think I apologize. It's hard keeping everyone's name in check, and my memory freaking sucks. But one of the guys in my room actually did their homework on the warrants, and the whole financial situation on Nikola, and his thought process and thesis on it, and I actually agree on it. So I agree on it a lot. They're having to do a lot of fundraising to get their trucks on the road, and they are fighting an uphill battle. So I'm rooting for them, but they have a lot of work in front of them. So nothing in this chart that I actually like as of yet. So the 60 right here is going to act as resistance, though. You can see where it acted as support here in the past. It's going to act as resistance here. So we may just go sideways here for a second. We got this little cup handle, and then it may break out here further on. Are they on YouTube? I don't think they're on YouTube, dude. I follow them on social media, like on Instagram and stuff. As far as the whole Diesel brother thing, I think they're on YouTube, or excuse me, Netflix. If you check it out, but it's like on the Discovery Channel, I think. But are you asking about the podcast? The podcast, no, it's on. You can find it on Apple Music, Spotify, all that. It's called the Heavy Checklist, or Heavy Checklist, and like I said, and it's pretty cool because so a lot of people don't know this, but they're actually, so their fans know this, but they're actually LDS, and then when I was younger, I was actually baptized LDS. So really cool to see from someone else's religious background and stuff, their thought process, and not being really strict and stuff, of the way that they their mindset on things. It's really cool to see that. So just a different perspective from religious outlook. It's really cool. So, and they're not afraid to say that they're LDS and all that. So it's pretty cool. What time frame are my charts? These are all 1 minute. Oh, well, I'm looking at a bigger time frame right now because I'm looking for bigger moves for the week. So usually, like on Sundays, like when I'm looking for plays, I'll come out here to my 4-hour 1 day chart, and then I just come in once I'm in a macro. I'm looking at this from a macro perspective, and then I'll keep on inching in from into a smaller perspective, and lay out my lines and where I want to play. But when I'm actually trading usually on a 1 minute chart for an entry, and then I'll switch to a 3 or 5 minute while I'm trying to stay in the trade, so that I'm not getting shaken out. Okay, cool. All right, so one other, just one. Am I gonna watch? So, I think Netflix reports earnings this week, don't they? If I'm not mistaken. Guys, like I usually do my homework for this on Saturdays, and like I said, I was out yesterday. Yeah, July 16th. So they report earnings on, I believe it's Thursday. So I'm looking forward to the Thursday thing. And the way that we play earnings is kind of counterintuitive and backwards. So on Friday, we'll probably be playing Netflix. Cool. But Netflix has been really strong too, guys. It's really worth, pulling up here. I played this on on Friday, and I just got this little move up, and this is just this little dip and rip, and then it started fading down, and it just went on a monster move, man. Like this was, and I called this in pre-market that I wanted this to make this nice move, and I just didn't have the huevos to stay in this. I got shaken out, and lately it's been a grinder. Usually it just it's not really on a nice trend. It pulls back kind of erratically and stuff. So and the premium doesn't I don't like the way the premium reacts on Netflix, so it kind of sucks. Do I exit a trade at a target or wait till you're stopped out? That's a great question there, Michael. So I have a rule called the walk into profit quickly rule. So I call it the WIPQ rule. So if I'm in a trade, right, say like we'll use this part from, for SPY, for example, right? So say like I get in and I think that this is, we'll use actually this bottom here, like if, this entry, right? So we have this bottom and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in right here. And then this is, this part. and then it's just, kind of going sideways, it's not really, doing too much, then I have what's called a walk into profit quickly rule, and then I'll get out. So if I'm just getting chopped up, right? So like on this Netflix trade, it's just going sideways, it's not really hitting my stop, and then it's not trending up. I'll go ahead and get out, because that means that my entry wasn't correct. If my entry was correct, your trade should walk into profit very quickly. So this is something I learned from the Jesse Livermore book, Reminiscence of a Market Operator. If you guys haven't read that book, go read that book. And if you've already read it, read it again. I'm sure you'll get more value reading it a second or third time. I've read it a couple times over again. And so I made this rule based on what he says on there, is that the best trades walk into profit quickly if your entry is correct. And so if I'm sitting here and this thing is just chopping around sideways, I'm just expending mental capital and emotional capital that doesn't need to be. So I'll go ahead and get out, and then I maybe take a little bit of a cut, right? But then I could wait until maybe I get some higher lows in here, and then I get a better entry, and then it walks into profit quickly, and then that drawdown, or that loss that I had previously, gets wiped out almost immediately, and then I'm good to go. Then your best trade should walk into profit quickly. You shouldn't be sitting there with your trade just ranging sideways and then not doing anything, especially in my system. So my system is very trend oriented. So if you're not in a trend and you're just going sideways, you have no business being in that trade. You're just going to get chopped up. And especially if you're trading options and that theta starts setting in, you're sitting duck, dude. Sitting duck. So best to just get out and try again then when you get a better entry. I hope that answers your question. G Money said he's so excited for this week volatility. One other ticker, guys, I really want to pull up here. I'm sure you guys have seen everything that has been going on in social media and stuff. Is Wayfair. So you guys seen like the whole child trafficking allegations and stuff like that. You know what? To be honest, I was actually shopping for some furniture a little bit ago, and then I think Overstock is like taking some jabs at them and trying to get people to actually go and buy from them instead of Wayfair. But I want to see how the reaction is to that news tomorrow on Wayfair. That's really sad news, guys, and I've all this stuff feels wrong profiting from, like stuff like that. But, we're going to make it happen. So, if that is, if that is the case and, they start getting hit, this has a long way to go, guys. If I come in and put my volume profile, we could get down 100 real quick, guys. So back down right here to this resistance 110 or so, real fucking quick. So, obviously we'll hit SSR before then, but that's what I'm looking at for tomorrow is that weakness off of the Wayfair allegations and stuff. They already said that they weren't true, so they addressed them and they said they weren't true. But dude, everywhere I look on social media, dude, everyone's talking about this stuff, and even if it isn't true, just the kind of negative press and the way that on their name is definitely going to hurt them. So I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up and this is gap down tomorrow, to be honest. So, all right. So keep that on your watch. Cool. Those are the only two ones that I really prepared for, guys. The Tesla one and then Wayfair. There is the Facebook that I think someone brought up Facebook. What's SSR? So SSR is called short sale. Can't even speak, dude. My head hurts so much. Short sale restriction. So short sale restriction is whenever so they made this because of Black Monday or whatever it was, Red Monday back in 1987. Whenever someone or excuse me, in 1987 for Black Monday or whatever it was, when we had the huge crash. The one that's kind of outlined in Wolf of Wall Street. After that, the SEC put in regulations or whatever. Whenever a ticker goes down more than 10% on the day, or at 10% on the day, it triggers what's called SSR, short sale restriction. So you can't short sell it on on the bid, so you can't hammer the bid. So basically, you gotta wait for an uptick to get filled if you're trying to short it, and if you're trying to sell. So so then it keeps you from like just pile driving a fucking ticker into the ground. And so I actually have the label on my screen here because it actually happens quite a bit in small caps. And one of the things I would do on small caps is just set my order at the SSR level whenever it started selling off really bad or there was an offering, and then there's usually a bounce. So whenever it gets to that level, there's usually a bounce, and then it'll go up, maybe 10-20%, and then you could get out just on that bounce. You know what I mean? So cool. Yeah. So we're let's talk about Facebook. I've been losing money on Facebook, to be 100% honest. If you guys go look at my P&Ls, been keeping it on a short leash, maybe a couple $100, but I'm trying to get it to get to this 250, right? But we got this nice flag right here, right? So a nice flag up right here is just consolidating, going sideways. These people that are trying to protect this 250, if we could remain bullish, dude, I like this to come and try to test again, maybe tomorrow, to get towards that 250. So we got to get towards these highs first, this 247, 248 level, and then for it to go. Man, Michael's asking all the good questions. All right, cool. We'll go over that here in a second, bro. But on Facebook, there is so for it to get up here towards this 248, we got to pass that, and then 250 then after that. So but other than this, is just going sideways. If I come into like a little bit smaller time frame, this has been kind of shitty where everything else is pushing up at the open. It's been kind of selling off. So and then I don't get the end of the day push back up to the to the open price. So we just kind of got this sideways. So yeah, absolutely, this is on watch if it can actually get that strength in the pre-market to get towards this 248. Microsoft. Dude, the thing is with all these like tech companies, man, they're so extended, bro. Like, Tesla, even Amazon. Like, you guys know I love playing Amazon, but to take a long trade on this, like way up here on Amazon, is just, I say that it's not worth it, but then it runs another 100 points, and it's so crazy. But on Microsoft, man, there's not really a setup right here. It's just way extended. I would like for it to pull back a little bit. We kind of got like this sideways. So if we get a little bit of a more of a dip, maybe towards this 2-3, like $2 down, $3 down, and then for it to push up. But this thing is just out of control. Are you guys still playing Roku? Is anyone still playing Roku? We a lot of members in the room actually made some really good money on Roku this week. So I got chopped up like twice on Roku in this little area, but I made sure I saved my bullets. I saved my mental and emotional capital. I just cut them really quick, and then I finally caught this nice move. I actually thought I did really well. Really well on this Roku. I got out here towards this. I think it was 44 on this first one. Yeah, this first one right here, and then it went another $6 or something like that after the pullback. But I thought I got most of it, and I didn't. So whatever. So I still think that actually. So the reason I bring this up, I believe Roku still has room to go, guys. So we could see it test these highs again. So we're having this trouble towards these all-time highs, right? If we could break this 160, dude, we got clear skies and this thing will fucking go. So, and I'm talking about probably 200. So, this is definitely something to keep on watch over the next couple days. Cool. We're getting into an hour into the STOCKcast, guys. I trade at target or. All right, cool. Let me answer your question here, Michael. So when a trade is running and you're in it, what gets you out? Cross of EMAs, target price, or what do you do next? So most of the time, for me, I already have a profit target in mind, right? So like on Tesla, when I got into these ones, even though like I said, I told my room that this wasn't a trade, it was just a lotto gamble, for Friday expirations. They were super freaking cheap. I got them for 98 cents. I was willing to go ahead and just see what happens. You know what I mean? But my profit target was 1,500, and the thing was, is I started seeing this resistance right here. So this right here at this 1480. So what I like to see in order for you to get out of a trade, is 3 pieces of evidence in order for you to get out. So just like you want confluence to take the trade for your entry, you want confluence and then 3 indications to be at least 3 indications in order for you to get out of the trade, right? So like indicators are never right on their own. So like, or one indicator is never right on their own, I should say. But when you start getting like 3 things screaming at you and it's all telling you, kind of the same thing, then you should start looking for a way to go ahead and get out, right? So for me, if I go ahead and I get into this, to use this trade as an example, I got in on the breakout right here, and then I held on this way up, and it got to 1483, and then I could see that these candles are, I don't know if you can really see them, guys. These are light green. They're like lime green as compared to these regular green ones. These ones are lime green, right? So whenever I seen this, and it got a little bit of a pullback and it went up, we got this MACD cross right here, right? So we got the MACD cross, and then my TTM was already going from cyan to blue. So I had these light green ones that were printing, and these went green again, but I didn't like that they had already printed, these light lime green ones. So that was my 3 pieces of evidence there in order for me to start taking profit here on Tesla on my trade on Friday. So I had the light green candles. My MACD cross was coming in right here, and then my TTM was starting to lose volatility to the upside. So if it would have kept in trend and start going up instead of this pullback, it would have actually stayed cyan, and then it would have kept on going up. But the thing is that I also use this CCI, which is my macro outlook time frame, and this never gave an indication to get out. So this never gave any type of indication to get out the whole time. So it actually tells you to, like right here, yeah, it dips, like it finally goes. But I mean, you could even hold this until tomorrow. But I hope that makes sense. Whenever I'm whenever I'm in a trade, I have my profit target already in mind based off of relative resistance points. So whether it be like daily resistance from the past, a fib line, a pivot point, you can use whatever you want to use, right? Make sure it is relevant though. It has to be relevant. And then so that is your target. Obviously, you're not always going to hit bullseye on the target, right? I got pretty close, 1480 from right here at 1418. Not bad of a trade. I got the meat of that move, right? But you're not going to argue with trying to get to 50. If you're always trying to hit your profit target, what's going to happen is you'll get tickers that'll pull back and never go back more often than not. Does that make sense? So your target's up here, but then you run into that resistance a little bit lower, and then it actually never gets there, and you're bag holding because it actually came back down. Someone did that the other day. I think it was on Microsoft or Google. They were up freaking, yeah, I think it was Google right here. They were up freaking awesome on this, dude, right here on this day. They were up here towards this. They held all the way in this whole trade right here, and they got up here towards this 1520, and I told them to take profit. I saw this resistance right here, so my advice was to take profit, and then they wanted up becoming a bag holder because their actual area that they wanted it to get to was 1530, but the trade is telling you right here that you have to get out, you have to take profit, right? And so they became a bag holder, and it came back all the way down, and they didn't make nothing. They wanted up, be negative instead of, being stubborn and just taking the money that was on there, hoping for that extra $10 and not being happy with what you have right here. You know what I mean? So Awesome. Any other tickers or anything you guys want to look at for this week, guys? It's so weird how my brain works, dude. Like I could recall like when I talk to people about stuff, but like certain things I just can't remember. Like if you guys are due to the STOCKcast, make sure you leave me a like, please, for coming by, dropping by, guys. If you guys got any value out of this, you drop your tickers that you guys like to do. If you want to do, dude, I'm about to, Steve. I'm gonna go take an ice bath after this. So, I actually have a one-on-one after this. What's the difference between the green and the light green candles? So they work almost like an RSI. They're not based off of RSI, but basically they indicate overbought, and then these are just bullish. And the same thing with the pink. So these are all selling, right, or bearish, and this is oversold. Ooh, yeah, those are good ones to talk about there, bro. Walmart. Walmart, McDonald's. Actually, you know what, Stacy? I'm keeping a close eye on all these, like restaurant tickers. Like I think you guys have seen me say this. Cake. So this is my little secret here, guys. This is what I've been kind of keeping track of. But Cake right here, whenever these start opening up, these coronavirus restaurants that kind of took a big hit. Denny's, these all have the same pattern. So same pattern and everything. Are you a member? I don't think you're a member of my room, right, Marcelius? If you're a member of my room, guys, you get access to all my indicators for free. So, well, included in your membership. So I think, just for that, I've had people come and sign up for a membership just because they want my indicators. And I'm totally cool with it. I'm totally cool with it. If that's what you need, and that's what you get value out of, then I'm fine with that. My thing turned off again. All right. So these are my little pet project here, as these little names like this: Cake, Denny's, Dave and Buster's. They all have the same pattern, guys, and they're gonna start holding support here, kind of at the levels that they're at. And then if we start getting into, I thought about taking leaps on them actually, but it's gonna tie up my buying power. These are my little pet projects right here, where I want to start seeing these break up here. So, but Walmart been really strong with that Walmart Plus thing that they have, and I'm actually pretty interested in it, to be honest. They deliver everything, and you get gas discounts and all that stuff. So, pretty freaking cool, to be honest. One thing that I don't like about Walmart, like right now, is their website. Their website sucks, like, to order stuff on. If they could, build that better and build a better app like Amazon has, then that would be awesome. But absolutely, dude, I think we come up here and test, these highs. Don't be surprised if we get a little bit of a pullback before we get there. But definitely very, very strong here on Walmart. So with that news still. So when does Walmart report earnings? Does anyone know? Yeah, but all the banks, I think the banks report this week. Bank of America had a lot of bull flow this week. Do you guys want to see it? I was keeping an eye on this. Here we go. So Bank of America, there's one put way down here, but you guys see all this here for next week, this week expiration, and then next week. So So 22, 25, in here, lots of bull flow in for Bank of America. So, and then I did believe I did hear some as well for JP Morgan. Yeah, so there was some for JP Morgan as well. These are expirations for last week, and then there's also some for this week as well. So I do believe that those are pretty strong too. So think that they're going to start waking up. The thing is with their earnings, it's hard to tell, dude, like with everything with the mortgage stuff, if people aren't paying their mortgages and all that from the coronavirus, I don't know how it's, the reaction is going to be, but they've been pretty strong lately. Both of them, JP Morgan as well. I actually started looking at this, I think Thursday or Friday. I was telling some members, but this thing is freaking awesome. Probably a lot of what's helping the overall market right now. So definitely something, if you guys play financials like that, something to keep on and watch. What's the other one? Goldman Sachs. What's the ticker for it? I don't do it like that, James. Mine is usually just 5 contracts. So, and I know I could pretty much afford 5 contracts of anything. So, Nio. Yeah, we kind of touched on Nio a little bit ago, dude. A lot of the Robinhood traders, the naive, pump, not Robinhood traders are, looking at this week. So, I mean, yeah, if you want to play this for a momentum thing, absolutely. But I think the float on Nio is a lot smaller than these other ones. So, or 895 million. It's I thought it was smaller than that. So just GS. Okay. Yeah. So same thing with Goldman Sachs, and they're doing really well. Cool, guys. Any last minute things you guys want to go over for the week? Anything, if you guys want to talk about anything as well, this is your chance. If your dog just isn't loyal anymore, if your girlfriend left, anything, we could all help you out with that too. I'm not kidding. Like, we have story time in my room. There's so much value in my room. We have story time. We have all kinds of cool stuff. Nicola looks like crap right now, to be honest, dude. So we went over that a little bit ago too. So we got like this ugly little cup and handle right here, but I believe it just kind of goes sideways a little bit here at this area, and then we might see another push up here towards where this resistance was. There's a high volume profile node up here towards this level, so it'll probably be attracted to come back up here to 65, to be honest. Cool. Awesome, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and make like a baby and head out. So that's it. Unless you guys have any other questions, not just the Beatles built the pyramids. Wait, what? Like Beatles, the group, the Beatles, or that can't be true. I don't know. Got me all messed up now. But not just, like I said, not just, for this week or anything, just anything with your personally in your trading. I like the questions that Michael was asking. So if you have anything like in your trading that you're working on that you want help on as well, now's the time to ask, and we could go over it as well too. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about, James. So if banks doing well, so JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America, keeping those two. So that sector. Oh, like Antsville. Netflix series submission your YouTube content. Dude, if Netflix came with enough money, bro, and I'm talking about maybe like $100, I would definitely do so. What's funny is that here in Albuquerque, Albuquerque and Atlanta is kind of like the new Hollywood. They film a lot of shows here in Albuquerque. Um, there's like 4 or 5 studios here, and they always have stuff blocked off. The thing is that it's really it's nothing for anyone to jump on a plane from here to LA. So there's Netflix bought like the huge studios here, so it's pretty cool. They get a lot of tax incentives from the governor and from the state to come do business here. Cool, guys. Gonna go ahead and head out. I appreciate you guys coming. I'm glad so many of you guys did come because, like I said, I was gonna call in today, and I was like, I can't leave my guys hanging. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys kill it this week. I can't wait to hear how you guys did on Friday on the TGIF stock live stream. So come hang out on Friday. We do it every Friday as well. We trade live, and we can kill it together on Friday, and then we'll do same thing on Sunday next week. We'll be back for the STOCKcast, all right? And hopefully it's not as fucking hot, and we could be feeling a lot better. But you guys take it easy, all right? See you guys.